season 5.
5.
5.
I can't believe it's,
How did we get to 5?
bro. I don't even
How
know
did
what.
we get to 5?
I don't know. All I know is that I was serenading you just right now, and you're probably gonna cut that out.
I did cut it out. You know.
I think the audience wants to hear my angelic voice.
No, we don't need to hear that. I think we did that last time. We don't need to do it too.
We lose a couple listeners,
Yeah,
or what?
we lost a couple. We lost a couple listeners. We don't need that
lost
shit
a couple
anymore.
subscribers, bro.
Yeah.
Like this is what happened.
Yeah.
This is
So-
what happened.
There's some really cool stuff planned out for season 5, so we're excited for those.
A lot of good stuff.
But and I don't know what you wanted to talk about today,
What I wanted to talk about.
but I have a little bit of a heater that I needed to get off my chest.
Oh, dude, I want nothing more to talk about your heaters that are not poop related. Okay.
I got.
When you say heaters, I don't know sometimes, bro.
It could go either way.
It could go either way.
It could go either way.
Like we aired the 100th episode, bro, and all I hear about is like, did Jeff really fart?
No,
Because of the comment you made about
that was
like,
just the
hey,
comment.
hey, dude.
People sometimes it's all entertainment based.
He was like,
I
"Was
have to
Jeff
know how
farting?"
to. I have to know how to entertain you guys because Omar doesn't know how to. So,
Oh gosh, this is not a fact.
so there's a. How do I start this?
Oh gosh,
I have a little bit. It's a complaint.
it's a complaint.
I have a couple complaints today. I don't know which one to go with.
Okay,
So it might just go both ways.
okay.
We'll see how you feed off of this.
I'm on the edge of my seat, bro. Hold on, let me
So-
buckle in.
The first one comes. I want to talk about Hawaii really fast.
Hawaii?
I want to talk about Hawaii.
You have a heater about
No,
Hawaii?
I don't.
Okay.
Why would anybody have a heater about Hawaii?
I had a heater about Hawaii. I mean,
No.
I didn't like certain things of Hawaii, but I mean that's just
No.
me.
So, as most of the public at this point knows, they've had 3 weeks of rain straight through. They had 50 inches of rain over the last
Again,
so many days.
bubble, bro.
I know.
I'm in a bubble, bro. I stay in a bubble.
Right.
So
So
I didn't know Hawaii had
to the
3 weeks.
to the uneducated here in the studio, or to those that aren't.
It's not uneducated.
Who are in
It's-
their bubble.
It
who
bubbles, yes.
Who
we're
choose to be in their
We
bubbles.
choose to be in our
So,
bubbles.
the state of Hawaii has had over 50 inches of rain over the last 2 weeks.
Ooh.
Right?
So it just flows into the ocean, right?
And we're not talking about one island. We're talking about the entire state.
Oh shit.
So there's people that have lost their homes. There's like roads are all washed out. Farmlands are washed out. Like if you're not high up in high country in some of the islands, if you're down low to the sea level, pretty much washed out. Here's my problem
Bro.
is nobody's talking about it.
Facts.
Nobody's talking about it.
There's-
You're here on Instagram. What pisses me off is, and I'm going to go political just a little bit, and
Oh,
I'm going to
shit.
go to the media a little
Oh
bit.
shit. Here we go.
Everybody's so fucking wrapped up in this god-forsaken Iran war.
Uh-huh.
I'm so irritated by it, as most people probably are.
Yeah.
Trump is so fucking wrapped up in his own head and this war thing that I don't think I've seen him make one comment
About the people suffering in Hawaii?
about people suffering in Hawaii. I haven't seen the news media like press Trump on it. Now I could be missing some things, but I haven't seen it. All I've been seeing on social media and some of the news outlets that I have seen, there has been no mention of it.
Mm.
And this comes from the idea that I have friends that live in Hawaii. I have
There we
friends
go.
that have been affected
Mhm.
by all the rains, and nobody is really talking about it, right? And so if something like that would have happened again here in California, or as some of this stuff is, a few months ago there was a big snowstorms and stuff in the East Coast, whatever, people talked about that. I haven't really seen anybody talk about all the flooding and everything else and how the locals of Hawaii are struggling right now. People in Maui just got over or are still
Still
still fighting
to recover from the fire.
recover from the fires in Lahaina.
Yeah.
And now whatever's been built up in Lahaina
Is now
is
gonna be
now
washed
fucking washed
away.
away,
Yeah.
right? And there's other parts of the state that are just all washed out. Like I've seen uh, North Shore is completely washed out. I've seen all these roads that are just torn apart, like and washed away. It's so for them to like again, they're gonna have to go through this rebuilding phase, and it's so like everybody's so wrapped up in again the Iran war. There's people still struggling to figure out the Epstein files,
Mm,
and there's not really been much media about how people are struggling down there.
mm,
And it says a lot about, I think, the state of society we're in right now
mm.
that people want to talk. Like, again, this is coming from me.
Hey,
You take
hey,
people can
bro,
take it
I
as they
got
want.
so many thoughts about this,
People
bro.
can
I'm letting you vomit right now, and then
people can
I'm gonna help dissect a little
okay.
bit. Okay.
People can take it as they want, but
Yeah.
I think it's in what's going on right now. You think some of the media outlets would want to be talking a little bit more about, hey, we need to help our own.
Right.
Why in the fuck are we continuing to go over to to
Other
other countries
countries try to take
and
over the world.
try and try and take over Iran? Like the things like, oh, we take over Cuba now next. Like,
Yeah.
let's talk about fucking U.S. Let's talk about how shitty things are here in some areas, right?
Let's
Let's
talk
talk
about that
about
$8 gallon of
let's
gas.
talk about the people that are
Bullshit.
struggling now in Hawaii. Like
Yeah.
there has been nothing about it, and I think it's kind of. I saw another Instagram video from a couple other people today that I know down there, and it's just like you see that, and you get all these people down there like helping each other out, trying to get out of the floods, and
Yeah.
they're showing videos of everybody's houses, and there's people swimming down the roads. There's people like actually
Paddle
on their paddle boarding,
boards
like
or
they're on their
canoes.
they're on their
Yeah.
surfboard just paddling through like people trying to get cars through. It's insane. So and
Wow.
I'm fucking shocked that there's not enough media talking about this and like the relief efforts down there and the state of
Mm,
emergency and everything else. Like, where's all that at? Why cannot this be something that we talk about?
mm.
That's what my heater is about.
That that
And
that.
I'm
So
tired
so
of it.
look, I need a little clarity on your heater. I get the whole synopsis of the heater and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But is the first probing question that I'm going to ask is your heater that politically where we're at as a society is the heater that you're pissed off that the Trump administration has created this environment of just all consumption of all things social media, or are you more of the opinion that you're pissed off at the world of news outlets and social media that's not even covering it?
I think there's been I don't know. Right now, as it stands, everybody on you look at social media, the people here's the other part of that.
Hmm.
And I fucking understand that the travel aspect is a fucking pain in the ass right now.
Hmm.
Right? TSA is
Well,
not getting paid. Their lines are 3 hours
but
long.
that's also Trump. But go ahead.
It is. It's the whole entire system behind it, and it sucks.
Uh-huh.
This is what pisses me off. On top of this is everybody's talking about how it takes them 3 hours to get through a TSA line. When again, people in Hawaii just lost their homes, and nobody's covering that.
Mm.
Nobody's talking about that. Like, oh, we're so worried about being in a line for 3. I got to take Des to the airport to go to Portland.
Yeah.
And I told her, I'm like, hey, listen, your flight's at 10. We're gonna have to get you there at 7. Hey, if you get through in 10 minutes, great. If not, we're gonna have to wait in line.
Yeah.
It is what it is at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I feel bad for the TSA agents. I don't want to even get into the whole entire ICE thing being at the airports. But
Why not?
what
Let's
drives
do
me
it.
what drives me crazy is the fact that everybody's so concerned about like, oh, I got to stand in line for 4 hours, 3 hours for a TSA line when
At least you're
shit
not.
is a lot worse in this world when it comes to the residents of the United States. Like, and so I think as all news cycles can be,
Mhm.
it can be a lot. I guess there's one of those things where, and I'm sorry, I'm using this as a therapy session, listeners.
No,
I'm
we're
using it.
good.
I'm using it as a therapy session. I'm using it to get off my chest how frustrated I am
Mm.
with the way not only the political administration
Mm.
is handling everything, right? It's, you know, Trump campaigned on America first, and it definitely has not been. And
Mm.
there's plenty of information out there to show that it hasn't been America first. What drives me crazy is you also have your legacy media outlets, CNN, Fox,
Yeah.
CNBC, whatever. Like they are not covering a lot of the other stuff as well. They're so focused on the Iran war or TSA or Homeland Security. They're not looking at some of the other stuff that they should be looking at to get the information out to be able to help people out. I think it's kind of a culmination of everything.
Mhm.
And I think, yes, there's the frustration from the political scene and the fact of Democrats and Republicans need to get their heads out of their asses
Mhm.
to figure out a way to make this happen. And, trying to push things one way or the other, it's like, listen, there's got to be a common ground here that they can figure this out to get TSA paid and get everything funded. Get people back to work. Don't rely on Elon Musk. Elon Musk was going to pay, I don't know if that's official or not. He was going to pay $100 million for TSA people to get paid. And so it's like, why is that even, and why does that even have to be an option? Right. So anyway, that
Yeah, he
my
doesn't he I don't he doesn't go through TSA.
yeah, he doesn't go through TSA.
He has his own planes.
Anyway, I think it's one of those things. Hawaii is very close to my heart. Like Des
Mhm.
and I have vacation there a lot. We got married there. We
Got
have
friends
friends
there,
there.
yeah.
And when you see some of this stuff happening, and again, they are still recovering from the big fires that happened. Why is there not more support from the news outlets to talk about this? We're
Or
so we're
support at
s-
all.
or support all. We're so engulfed in what's going on in the Middle East and what's going on with homeland security,
Yeah.
where and talk about gas prices and all that. Like there's just I think it compounds, right? And I think it's what I guess I have realized to myself again. This using this as a therapy session in its own right. I've realized in myself that I've kind of started to get depressed a little bit
Mm.
listening to some of this stuff that is going on, right? You can't turn on any kind of news outlet, any kind of media outlet,
Yep,
whatever it is.
yep.
Listening to, Amazon, listening to a podcast, listening to, stuff on social media or whatever it is, like
Mm.
regular TV, it's always going to come down to, hey, compounding, compounding, compounding. And I realized that over the weekend
I have,
where it's like, I got because again, you get stuck in these news cycles on let's just call it social media right now,
yeah.
right? We sit here and we talk about like what kind of stuff comes across your social media. And now that
You
you are
s
sitting in this conversation with
I'm
me,
gonna get a
you're
bunch
gonna
of
get a
shits.
bunch of stuff coming through.
Yeah,
But that's what happens, right? And
yeah.
and then all of a sudden that social media comes down, and then you get the assholes
Mm,
that are there to look for clickbait,
yeah.
and then they compound on stuff with AI videos about oh this other shit, and it's just it. So I was just kind of looking at it, like I realized the other day that I was like, you know what, I'm starting to get depressed with the shit. Like it frustrates me, and maybe it's because the older I get, I look at it and I'm like, I don't want to be. Like, this sucks. Like 50 years old dealing with this shit. It's like
Now you understand just this little vent that you just had, or this vomit session, the therapy session that you started, uh, is the primary reason why I like to live in my bubble. And here's why. Here's the thing. Like, you can't, for me personally, man, like there's not enough eh, there's not enough value in the information that's being pushed out to us for me to give it and warrant my time and energy and emotion. And it's just my own personal view. Like, I will, don't get me wrong, I do watch the news, but it's like when I say watch the news, you know how that little thing that comes up on your computer, dude, when you like click on it and it just gives you like summary or headlines and
yeah,
shit like that.
yeah.
That's about the extent of it, right? And it's like, oh, what's majorly happening in the world right now or locally? Cool. Got it. Done, moving on. And call me old, bro, but I can't because the key word in that is what's being pushed out to us.
Well, no, I get that, and
Yeah.
there's I would what sucks is the fact that the media is so cut and dry,
Oh,
left
100.
and right at this
Mm.
point that you can't turn on a regular news outlet without it being A or B.
Black,
Right,
white, left, right,
uh,
forward, back. Yeah.
right.
High, low.
There's
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
100%.
really feel there's not enough like crossover gray area where a news outlet is so interested in actually what is going on with you know the two sides together
100. Yep.
or the individual who's being affected by either side,
Yeah.
right? And I think that's what's frustrating, and I would like to say that some of the independent media does a really good job with that, but I don't even think they do a good job with it
No. Be
because then all of a sudden they start to skew a little bit left or right, and then you're not getting again, you're only getting the information that they want to push out in that side of things, and it's hard. So,
I blame it on the humans.
yeah, for sure, and
I
I
blame
know
it
that
on
there's got to
humans.
be, and what sucks, and I think about this too. It's like, okay, I know the way I feel politically,
Mhm.
right? I understand that my views aren't going to match up with somebody else's.
Right?
I also have to think about it. It's like I do wonder. It's like, okay, if somebody who's if somebody's a MAGA Republican, right, a Trumpist, right, really is into it. What is their what gets them upset and pissed off about the way the left side or the Democrat side looks at this stuff? Like it's that's what's tough. It's like
Mm.
that's the way society has become now so far that I almost feel that most society can't even look at it anymore as a middle ground. Like,
You
where are we
you
at?
can't you can't. And it's you know I made the statement when we were talking about the Super Bowl
Mm,
this year. We
mm,
talked about it. And I said, the only real thing that's going to create um it's not going to resolve the issue because there's always going to be differences, but it's going to make it to where it's palatable and for people to be able to have conversations again that
yeah,
are not um destructive,
right,
and I'll say that again, for people not to have destructive conversations,
right,
right? And it's so hard. The only thing that's going to do it is the word love and
right,
the act of love.
right.
And love comes with a lot of acceptance, man. Like, you think about that, you don't have kids, but like if your dogs, right? Or let's just say your wife, Des, right? And like she's gonna make a mistake that's gonna piss you off, and you're going to have to accept that because you still love her and you want to. But when you talk about it from a child's perspective, like I have 6 children, when my kid has done some fucked up shit, I had to like legitimately like love them because what they did was so hard for me to accept, right?
Right,
But they're my child,
right.
and so it's like that. And I don't want to get religious, but from my own, I won't even call it religious belief. My spiritual beliefs is that this term agape love that the Bible talks about is the one thing that I've learned how to like truly embrace that is so friggin' hard to do. Like it is not the easiest thing to do because you're always gonna come across somebody that just strikes that, like picks that scab or strikes that nerve, or you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
to that point,
yeah,
I think that's the hard part.
100%.
Having a narcissist as a president,
Yeah.
and because it's this is all part of it. It's like I feel that every single piece of news cycle has to be about him,
Hmm.
what he has done, what he is doing,
Or what, or how
and
good he is,
or how
how
good he is,
amazing he
how
is.
amazing he is, or this and
Hmm.
that. And it always comes back to Trump and his
Right.
administration,
So,
and most of the time that's making a divide in the country.
oh,
To your point, there's not a lot of story, conversations out there that are driving that. Like this goes back to the Hawaii thing. Like this is something where the love aspect of it, we should Like, be supporting,
But no.
more what's going on, the struggles that Americans are having,
But it's
whether it's the floods or gas prices and you're having a hard time, paying for
pain.
X, Y, Z. Because a lot of the shit. This is the other thing too, is it sucks. And like, I'm sorry, I'm vomiting here, but I look at it also too, and this sucks for you and I,
Mhm.
right? Is because when people start getting into a pinch
Mhm.
financially,
They spend less money with us.
they spend less money going to the gym. They spend less
Less money
money
going to
doing
the events.
activities
Yep.
like my races, right? And then you start looking at it, it's like, well, it sucks because I can't control any of that.
No.
That's what pisses me off. And
Yeah.
the fact that a lot of this stuff is, they drive this, they're driving this truck and it's like, oh yeah, well, here's a bad story. Here's a bad story. This is all about, you know, the hate aspect of it. And there's not enough about like, hey, we need conversations in the news cycle right now that are bringing people together, and there is none of it.
There's not a whole lot of, they used to call these back in the day when I used to watch the news, like the feel good stories.
Yeah, there's none of that
There's
shit.
none of that feel good
No.
stories, right? Like we could take this, even if it was a tragic situation like extreme flooding or major fires or an earthquake or even war.
Yeah.
Like there's always been a feel good aspect to all of these tragedies back in the day,
Yeah.
right? But that's not what people respond to, unfortunately, right? And
Yeah,
and so
exactly.
like and so you sit there and you're like, damn, going back to the conversation of it all has to be like we have the narcissist in the Oval Office right now, and he's doing these other things right now. Instead of it being a feel good, in order for the audience to click on it, they have to go, well, if a Democrat was in office, they would have done better of supporting the Hawaii floods, right? Nah, Republicans, it is America first because we're going to send troops or we're going to do this. Like, it is like,
Yeah.
instead of it being feel good of like humanity coming together and like learning how to
Yeah.
love each other and support each other. And it doesn't matter if you have thousands of people that go out to Hawaii and wait 3 hours just to get on a plane to go to Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wouldn't be about that, right? It wouldn't
Yeah.
be like if we had 1,000 people to go out there and support and fundraise and figure out and be there for the people that are displaced and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be back in the day. It didn't matter if those 1,000 people were 50% Democratic or 50% Republican. You know what I mean? It wouldn't matter because you just had 1,000 people coming together and just like learning how to love and support each other. And as you're vomiting, man, I'm like, dude, I just got off of a marketing call earlier today, and the advice I got falls along the lines of what you're talking about. And he's like, you need to, because my whole thing for Q2 is to kind of do a better job of like understanding and structuring what we put out on a social media perspective. You and I have had both made this statement. Sometimes we struggle with even understanding what we need to put out on social media now.
Right.
Like I don't even know what to say anymore. Like you and I have both had that frustration.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know what to do anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the algorithm has changed. Uh, what's trending right now? Like, dude,
Yeah.
you and I still struggle with that. And yes, we're getting a little older, but the end result is the advice that they gave. I'm sorry, not the end result. The advice that they gave me was, Omar, you're really good at talking on the mic, and you give two shit what people think about you. For goodness sakes, he brought up because he looked at our Pilates episode.
Mhm.
He goes, that was money. Keep doing that, but for your business, for your gym. And I said, oh, okay. He goes, you want to get that hook that's going to be polarizing.
Mhm.
That's what's popular right now. Do it. And I was like, oh. So he's giving me advice like maybe you hold a sign up with the offer, or maybe you're doing a talking head and you're talking about somebody, not doing something right on a high rocks race. Like whatever it is that's going to catch people's eyes, that's polarizing, do it.
Mhm.
And so I think about it from our president's perspective, who's definitely agreed, a narcissist through and through, right? But you ask the question, like, what is the, you know, you're a little bit more you're conservative, not conservative, but you're a little bit more liberal than what is the Trumpist really thinking about? Like their perception of what's going on in the world right now is based off of whatever that narcissist is saying right now.
Right.
They give two shits about what's going on in the world. They
Yeah.
say they do. They want America to be first, but they don't know.
Yeah.
They know what they've been fed.
Right.
And the same applies when it comes to the liberal aspect of things.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean,
You know,
and that's the thing. I get it.
and it's just like you sit there and you go, "Fuck." It has to be so polarizing and so angry. Like even nowadays, they're telling me, who I am not that way, to go, "Yep, you need to be a little bit more polarizing, Omar." I'm like, I don't know if I want to die. I think I'm going to die on the sword of being in the gray and feeling good. Like this is okay. Like if my business fucking fails because I choose not to get polarized, cool. Will I do some gimmicky things? Yes. Like we're talking about, standing on a corner on a pair of short shorts and squatting with the barbell on our back. And that's polarizing. It's not polarizing, but it's eye catching.
Yeah.
Like me in the short shorts out in the like, dude, that's gonna be funny, right? But I'm not gonna sit there and go, well, fuck Trump and do all this. You know what I mean? Like, dude, there's so many campaigns out there in the social media world and in the media world and in the news outlets world that are designed for us to be able to get and click and
Well, and
go.
that's part of my point, right? Is
Mhm.
I think that's the hard thing, and I've actually made it a point. At least I'm trying to make it a point. Is to not doom scroll as much anymore
Oh,
because
dude, it's so hard.
you get kind of stuck in that,
Yeah,
and like one video leads to another, and so on and so
yeah.
forth. And I realized, and I've never had this feeling before where I was sitting there listening to a video or a reel or whatever, and then another one pops up, and you're just like, "Fuck!"
Fuck.
It's just like overwhelming, and you get
Yeah,
to this point where you're just like, I just can't feel like I can't breathe. I was like,
yeah,
"This is ridiculous! Like, why? What is going on?" And a lot of that has to do with again the social media controlling what you're looking at and everything else, and the media dictating what they're going to put out there. And it's like I just and I even I have one of the Alexa Echoes or whatever in
right.
my kitchen, and so it's like, "Hey, good morning, Alexa," and then it tells you all the news, and it's just like I'm listening to this, and I'm like, "Fuck!" Like even the Alexa app is just like,
Fuck you, Alexa. You didn't even talk about Hawaii.
like just well, it's just all the bad shit. You're just like, "What the
What
hell?"
the hell? Yeah,
I can't even listen to that anymore. It's like it's
yeah.
just
It's
I just I
we're in a sad state for
we're in
sure.
a sad state. I just think, from an information perspective, something needs to change as far as
Mm,
what it is. I think I think a lot of people just need to start hearing those feel good stories, the stuff that's going to bring a little bit of light to what's going on in the world outside of all this bad shit,
yeah,
right? It just
yeah.
pisses me off that a
I
lot of that's been set to the side. Honestly, it has, and politicians can't get out of their own way.
facts.
They just can't, and it's one of those things. Lobbyists can't get out of their way. It's fucking terrible. And
Yeah.
there's things, and this goes on to it too. Is like I sit there and I listen to my dad is a huge Republican,
Yeah,
and so is Dez's dad,
yeah.
and so I have to have Fox News when they come over to the house, right? And so
Uh-huh.
it's one of those things. I sit there and I listen to it, and this goes either way. We'll call it CNN versus Fox, right? Like very liberal, very conservative. I sit there and I listen to those people talk for 2 seconds about how they're digging into this Democrat this or this Republican that or Trump da 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 da. And I'm like, I wonder if they're getting off of camera and being like, what the fuck did we just read?
Yeah.
Why in the hell can't we read something else? Why like I want to know what their like true
Feelings are.
feelings are about
Mm,
some of the shit that they have to sit there and read because I know what it is. Catastrophe sells.
yeah, it does. It does. Catastrophe
Catastrophe
sells.
fucking sells,
Yeah,
and
but I think uh reps and sets, right? I always revert back to reps and sets for everything that I I face, even when it comes to these kind of conversations, right? And it's like reps and sets from a from a societal perspective. Um, we can't we can't. It's not okay to be okay, even though we disagree.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was, bro. Back in the day, man, you stand on that side, I stand on this side, and guess what? I can still have a conversation, and I wish you no harm.
Well,
Now it's like, no, bro. It's
I
like you're
agree.
on that side, you're on this side. Let's go to
Well,
war.
and that's the point. Like I think, you know, even 5 years ago, or 10 years, you could have a civil conversation about
Yeah, I would say, but I would say as close as 5 years ago, better
like
than you could.
religious, political,
No.
whatever it is, right? I
Mm,
felt people could have a little bit more civilized conversation, and now it's like everybody's so polarized in one way or the other that
mhm.
you can't have a conversation without somebody being offended,
Oh, facts.
right? And that's what sucks. Like I and
But
there's part of it that's like you and I have had this conversation. Like
mm-hmm,
we don't want to have certain conversations because we don't want to offend anybody.
mm-hmm.
And I think about that and I'm like, well, fuck, man.
That was that was the take. That's why I asked you that question when we talked about our wrap up last season.
Yeah,
I think these kind of conversations that seem a little polarizing, right? Um, Unfortunately, we have to be able to have for people to start listening more, because here's the reality. That advice that my marketing team gave me. I said and I said the same thing that I'm telling you right now. Like, dude, that's not really my vibe. And he was like, no, you don't. It doesn't have to be. He goes, it just has to start to be that way. And then you can show them the real. And I was like, cool.
yeah,
And so, unfortunately for us here on the No Fixed Agenda podcast, maybe we need to do that a little bit more so that we can be a louder voice and talk about Hawaii in a positive light,
right.
and talk about, like, hey, Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. Like, just let's start talking about Hawaii right now. Let's talk
Well,
about how we can support them,
yeah,
right? Let's talk about, you know, gas prices being what they are and how it's impacting you in your life right now,
right.
right? And now it's like people, there's so many freaking things about, gas prices being what it was, right? But instead of it being, oh, Charlie Kirk talked about, that the next president should never go to war with Iran. And here we are, the guy that he was supporting, that he got killed over, is now talking about, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And so I too, like you, think these social media, that's social, just not just social media, because they're just trying to get as many followers and clicks as they possibly can. And so they're gonna do whatever it is that's gonna make them do that. When you talk about mainstream media, Fox, CNN, CNBC, like all these people, all these companies, uh, I genuinely do believe that some of them are like, what am I really got to read this?
I would love
Really? I really
I
got to
would
read
love it.
this?
I don't
Like, really?
I look at some of that stuff and I'm like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
cannot be thinking that personally
yeah.
to say that with a straight face on
But,
camera and then to turn around and just laugh your ass off after the fact you read this. Like,
but our president, and I'm learning this in my business right now. And you were part of my quarterly meeting because you're an ambassador of my business. And I'm learning that I have to step back and lead a different way.
yeah,
And in order for me to do that, that's what's going to make my business grow. It's going to make it flourish. And I have to not lead from just so much coaching perspective. And I just got to lead a different way. Unfortunately, our presidents or elected officials, I don't know if they know that, or if they do, if they're just trying to get supporters, or if they're just trying to get more money to their campaign. I don't know. I've lost all faith in our government. And I'm putting it out there like 100%. And I don't care if it was Obama in the office
yeah.
or Trump in the office. I have legitimately lost faith in our government. Period. End of
And there's a lot
sentence.
of people that feel
Hard
that way.
stop,
Yeah, there's a
right?
lot of people feel
Hard
that way.
stop,
Yeah.
right? And so it 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 has nothing to do with what my it has nothing to do with my beliefs as as a Christian, I've even lost faith in some of even Christianity in a lot of ways, right? Because, like, get out of here. Yes, I use the word F. I throw the F bomb, right?
Oh, we know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
know.
And
Oh, we
people
know.
like, oh my gosh, how can you like how can you say you're a Christian? I'm like, because I believe in God, bro. Like the the last I checked, man, I'm not using it to tear anybody down. I'm not using it to freaking hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not using it to use the Lord's name in vain. But I happen to like the word, man. Like, leave me alone, right? And
Yeah.
so it's like, come on, man. Like, you sit there and you think about it from that perspective. Like, the F bomb is not going to make me go to hell, dude. Last I checked, right? The same applies when it comes to our political leaders. Like, come on, man, stop. Really, truly have the people that you serve in mind. But I have not seen any of that in the last 10, 20 years of my existence on this planet, man. And it's like, giving it up, right? I think as a society, go back to reps and sets in the conversation, man. Like, we got to be able to do this. And at our base fundamentals, dude, why do you think so many freaking homeless people that are sitting on a corner with a sign? I have this thought every time. And in Oceanside, you're walking by a lot of homeless people.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know? And I have this thought every time I walk by a homeless person. And I'm a very nice guy. I will give you the shirt off my back. I refuse to give those people money. But they're obviously there for a reason because they will lean into the fact that generally people want to be nice. And I have this thought like, oh, I wonder how many Democrats or how many Republicans or conservatives or liberals have walked by and given that guy like $5 or a sandwich. I think in our innate behavior as human beings, we really do want to be nice to each other and be kind to each other. But because of social media being what it is, because of things like the documentary of Social Dilemma we've talked about in the past, I think because um, our major media outlets have now plagued into that whole polarization aspect of things, that uh, they've tapped into the emotional side that creates us to be angry towards each other. And I think if we got rid of all that shit, dude, and more people learned how to live in a bubble like I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, live in the bubble, baby. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, you will be able to learn around, like, have more reps and sets with a human being that is standing on the total opposite side of you, bro. Like on the opposite side of the world that has complete and utter different beliefs than you do, and still do some good. Like, work together, do some good. And it sucks that it's that way. It does. It hurts. I get depressed too. It makes me sad, dude, to think about it. Like, it makes me really sad because I'm in the business of serving people. And I think about that just from my own, some of the challenges that I've had in my community, right? And sometimes I just got to step away and like take the higher ground or not say anything at all.
Yeah.
Um, but either way, I got to love both sides of whatever challenges that I'm faced with.
Yep.
And that's something that I think society, from a reps and set perspective, is not ready to do or hasn't done. And if we start doing that, even from on our small little tiny platform that we have here, dude, if we started doing that, how powerful that would be. Because it's just little by little. Like, we're in the business of planting seeds, man. In my business, right? We plant a seed of behavioral things. Like, hey, you're going to see me every Monday at 3 o'clock. You know that, right? The same applies here. You know that we're going to be talking about. We just talked about our core values for the podcast that you came up with, right?
Mhm.
That I was like, dude, that is totally us. We're going to be unscripted, right? We are going to do it from a place of information, right? And so, like, those are the things that are going to be our guiding lights. But I think as a society, we can kind of step away and not lean into our government, what social media is saying, what the news outlets are saying, and really just look at the person that's standing in front of us or on the other side of that screen and going, hmm, They must be saying that for a reason, but I can't hate them for having that belief.
Yeah.
You know, racism was abolished because of a common understanding. Is there still racism in place? Yes, there is. We see it every time. Like, not we see it less frequently than we did back in the 50s, right?
Yeah.
But it started because two people that stood on opposite sides of the aisle got together and said, "Oh, I understand you because you're a black person. I didn't understand you, but now I do. I'm a white person that understands a black person. I'm a black person that understands a white person." Right? And then they had that understanding, and then eventually it started getting less and less and less. And so I think the same thing needs to happen when it comes to these kind of things that we talk about. Like, sucks, but going back to Hawaii.
Yeah.
And we
So
can talk about supporting them.
I appreciate you. Let me get on a tangent today. I just think
This was
it's
fun. I strapped in. As soon as you said it, bro, I was like, "Ooh, we just gonna be a live one."
I just, it's one of those things. Again, I look at it as I wish there was a little bit more of those feel good stories out there, because I think society now needs it, especially here in the States, right? And it is one of those things, but I needed to get that off my chest. And I think I was getting depressed about it. I was getting a little bit worried about like the way I was perceiving things, and like, fuck, am I missing something here? Like, so I just had to come off here, and
maybe
I had to vomit a little bit. So to the listener,
I apologize.
thank you.
Yeah.
I apologize.
No, don't apologize.
But
don't
I
apologize.
don't, because now you understand where I'm coming from.
Look, you guys, listeners, Jeff, this is a big step for Jeff, listeners, okay? This is a huge step in the right direction. That was my number one criticism of him, being so nice, because he's such a nice man, right? He didn't want to speak his feelings, and now he is.
Yeah.
So we're good. This is great.
Good.
And don't apologize for it. One, I think we'll end it with this, dude. I think this being our first episode for season 5 is going to set the tempo of what we should be doing and adding into the season for season 5, dude.
Yeah.
Episodes. Maybe this sets the tempo for us to go out to the community and find a feel-good story.
Maybe.
Ooh.
I like it. We'll see what we got.
Here we go.
We are getting into that remote type of shit.
Yeah.
Anywho, thank you guys. We appreciate it. And we look forward to more of these type of conversations come season 5. So thanks, guys.